Hello YouTubers, it's the Wind Turbine King here. Today we're going to talk about the final assembly of your Thermodyne wind turbine brackets. It's really boilerplate, pretty simple. We've already pre-bent all our stabilization flaps on our tail feathers. You want to see another video on this. Our brackets are all painted and ready to be assembled. We've painted both sides of everything so that rust can't leach through and moisture will be repelled. It's really simple to put this together. We're going to start with the upper bracket. You put your I'm sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Put your upper bracket on and put your bolt through first just to help. You put your upper bracket on behind the top bracket. The reason for this is because the holes on the tail section are not elongated and we keep the tail section straight. Put it through the hole. Put your nut on. I'm only going to do a couple of these to save us some time. Whoop. Then we put the second one through. These holes are precision cut to prevent wiggling around. See what I was doing, I'd be in great shape here. Not like I'd ever put one of these together before. There we go. Now these are made with 1/4" grade 5 bolts. They're replaceable. You need 2 US SAE 7/16 wrenches to assemble it. I'm going to finish putting these bolts in. You don't want to tighten anything just yet. So what you want to do is get all your bolts in. They are a little stubborn. You want to get all your bolts in loose first so that everything's all lined up. Man, I got a lot of paint in that hole, I guess. Sometimes you just have to give it a little bit of persuasion. These are fiber lock nuts, so there's no lock washers needed. These will hold everything together for you. We'll put one more in, then I'll show you how to show you the rest. You do require a little bit of finesse. It's amazing how much a little bit of paint can screw you up. It's important that you paint these things. Now while I do this, I'm just going to remind you that there are other videos on the channel. One of them was how to bend this. There's another video on how to paint the bracket or the brackets. They're going to require an etching primer and a little bit of sanding on the tail because this aircraft of grade aluminum isn't too friendly with Rust-Oleum. Alright, we've loosely assembled this bracket. Take your bracket, put your tail fin in there. bolt. Now I'm going to stand it up so I can see what I'm doing here. Oh, it is through. Okay. Now this is where you're going to have to start tightening. You have to tighten this one, this bolt on the fin, this guy here, so that you can get your other bolt in. So we're going to hold it with a wrench, or a 7/16 wrench. Snug it. Line the hole. Put your other bolt through. Boy, that must be a good paint job if I can push through like that. Or I can't push through, I gotta thread it through. Put your nut on. Now, before you go any further, before you tighten anything more, you need to put your second set of brackets on here. So I'm going to do that quick. It's probably best that you put your nuts on the outside just in case, but there is enough room in there that you don't have to worry about. There we go. You don't have to worry about the pipe hitting the nuts. There's enough room, but putting the nuts on the outside is just an insurance policy, but you can do it either way if you're worried about appearance. But on these bolts here, nobody's going to see it because they're hidden inside the rails. And then do the same thing again. I'm only going to put one in here to save us a little bit of time. Oh, why not? Put them both in. And we'll start with some nice clean bolts. Line them up. So again, we're going to stand the bracket up so you can see what you're doing. Put your nut on. Draw it up. What this does is it bends the lower bolt or the straps together so that there's a little tension on them and that keeps it that gives it some rigidity so that the tail isn't flopping around. It's actually stressing it a little bit. And now you can tighten all your bolts. I don't know if you can see that. Now you can tighten your bolts. Make that one a little bit tighter. There we go. Don't over tighten them. A 1/4" drive ratchet is good. Most people don't have one, so a 3/8 will work just fine. Again, it's 7/16. And there's your bracket. Okay, the last video that we're going to do is mounting the PMA on a bracket. I've got it pre-mounted, but I'm going to start a new video for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thermodyne wind turbine bracket. This particular one is going to be a KT, and it only takes a few minutes to assemble it. It takes longer to paint it than it does to put it together and hang it up, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. The Wind Turbine King, out.